Hello peeps, I hope everyone's alright. Seasonal greetings to everyone. Merry Christmas to the whole world, to the Formula 1 fans, to the FIA, to the paddock, to everyone that works in there. Season's greetings to everybody. And I'm wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I hope everyone enjoy it. You get your presents and you enjoy yourself very much. So in this video, I bring you the 2021 Formula 1 season calendar. So let's roll. So you have March 21, you have the Australian Grand Prix at Melbourne. The Australian Grand Prix at Melbourne is always exciting, you know. I remember back to even from like 2008 or 2007, the Grand Prix are always exciting, you know. Physical, I won the Grand Prix in 2005, 2006, you know what I'm saying? Alonso, 2007, Raikkonen, 2008, Hamilton, you know. So the Australian Grand Prix is always exciting, you know, even to the hybrid era, which started in 2014. The Australian Grand Prix is always exciting. It's the first Grand Prix of the race and everybody wants to do well. That's where the teams check the car out to see for the pre-season, the things that they worked on, to see if it's worked, you know, the new upgrades and the new configurations of the car, and you know, new practices. That's when they check in if it's all right. So the Australian Grand Prix is always going to be a race to look forward to. So this season is going to have 23 races. To me personally, I think that's a bit too much. I think like 19, 20, 21 is alright, yeah. Anything over 20, 21 is a bit too much, you know. The driver needs rest as well, and the crews need rest as well. And I remember Verstappen was saying that so many races is gonna cause a bit too much, what's it called, divorces with the, what's it called, the mechanics and stuff like that. So I'm saying that 23 races is a bit too much, but still I'm looking forward to it, you know. They should cut off 2 races, but that's the next story. So the second race is in Bahrain at Sakir. That's it. The Bahrain Grand Prix always comes early in the season, so that's one thing that is good, that is still on the calendar. And then early in the season, so the cars are still, you know, learning themselves, warming up and stuff like that. And it's always a good race as well in Bahrain. And then the third race is in China, Shanghai. So that's the Chinese Grand Prix in Shanghai. So yeah, the Chinese Grand Prix is the third Grand Prix of the season. It's gonna be at Shanghai. It's gonna be at Shanghai, and the race it can bring about some real good overtaking. It's got good overtaking spots. It was designed by Helman Tilke anyway. It's a good track, you know, for a Formula 1 car to drive. It's fast and flowing, you know, not many really big stops. It's about 2 or 3 major stops, you know, the hairpin, and even the first corner, you're going up to 200 miles, you braking slightly and you turning in. So it's not really like a slow track. It's a very fast track and a fast flowing. So the race in Shanghai is always exciting, and I'm looking forward to it. The fourth race is to be confirmed. So the fourth race on April 25 should be is to be confirmed. So we must be patient on that one. And then on May the 9th, yeah, the Spanish Grand Prix at Barcelona. This season it was won by Lewis Hamilton and the Mercedes. I think, yeah. So the Spanish Grand Prix, if the front running drivers got their game on, it can be exciting because you can have a battle for the race win and stuff like that. That track gives you that option to have a battle for the race win, and you can overtake as well. So the Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona on May the 9th is gonna be exciting. And then moving on to a street circuit, which is in Monaco. Monaco is there for the glam and the fame and the celebrities and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is that the Monaco Grand Prix, whoever wins it, you know, it's very elegant. It's an elegant Grand Prix to win. So I'm looking forward to the Monaco Grand Prix. I hope it's going to be a great challenge, you know what I mean, between whoever's at the front, Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari. You know, the Monaco Grand Prix is going to be very exciting. Then you got the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in Baku. That's another street circuit, but it gives you, there's a long straight at the ending of the lap here where you can overtake. And through the middle section, there's a couple of overtaking spots if you're brave enough. But it is a street circle. It's very narrow, very tight. So you got to drive very carefully and braking early and stuff like that. Right braking points and stuff like that. So the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in Baku always brings a exciting race. I remember in 2018, Vettel was leading. He lost the lead to Valtteri after a safety car, and then Valtteri got a puncture and Lewis won. So it's got a lot of luck to it, a lot of luck, and you have to be very lucky for you to, you know, win that race. So moving on, after Azerbaijan, you have June 13, which is the Canadian Grand Prix in Montreal. So the Canadian Grand Prix in Montreal is a legendary Grand Prix. The circuit is named after Gilles Villeneuve, Jacques Villeneuve's dad, and he always brings exciting racing because it's a real Formula 1 track. You can overtake, you can follow closely, and then he's got a big hairpin, you know, and then you can follow and overtake before the Wall of Champions. You can overtake after the hairpin. So the Canadian Grand Prix is always exciting. Then moving on, you come to France on June 27 at the Le Castellet at the Paul Ricard circuit. So basically the French Grand Prix, the last few years, 2018, 2019, it wasn't too exciting. It was won by the Mercedes over 20 seconds by Lewis Hamilton. But in the midfield, there's always exciting battles. So that is a Grand Prix. But a lot of the fans want that taken off the calendar. Then you go to Austria and Spielberg. Austria always brings, you know, it always turn the tables because you don't know who's gonna win, who's gonna do well. You know, I remember when Mercedes was doing well in 2018, they had a double retirement. Valtteri retired and Lewis retired. So the Austrian Grand Prix is not an easy race to run and to win. So I'm looking forward to it. And I remember in 2019, Max Verstappen started on the front row, dropped back after a poor start. He came back, prodding on, and he won the race. He overtook Charles Leclerc, but he gave him a little bump in it, so Leclerc went a bit wide, and Max took the win. After an investigation, they gave Max Verstappen the win at the Austrian Grand Prix 2019. So that Grand Prix is always exciting, and it always brings something positive. Moving on, you got July 18. You have the United States. You have June 18 in the United Kingdom. That's Silverstone. You know, the British Grand Prix is always exciting. They just recently named the Hangar Straight, the International Pit Straight to the Hamilton Straight for Lewis Hamilton's achievements in motorsports, and you know, giving him some props and some vision and stuff like that. So Lewis Hamilton has his name named after a part of the track. That's the first driver ever to be named after a part of Silverstone. So that's a great achievement. So next year, Mercedes will be looking to be strong at Silverstone, and the others will be looking to take the fight to them. And then on August the 1st, you have the Hungarian Grand Prix in Budapest. You know, it's not an easy Grand Prix. It brings the car alive. The track can bring some rain or some heat. You know, you just never know with Hungary, innit? So looking forward to that one too. And then August, then there's a 4-week, there's a break, about 3 weeks. Then you have August 29, the Belgian Grand Prix in Spa. You know, the Belgian Grand Prix is a really great track with the bus stop chicane, and then coming up to Eau Rouge, you know, up the turns, uphill onto Lake Holmes. So the Belgian Grand Prix is a great track. You know, it's a legendary track. They used to race on there in the 50s and 60s and 70s. You know, so you know, Michael Schumacher has wins there, Mika Hakkinen has wins there, Lewis Hamilton has wins there, Sebastian Vettel has a couple of wins there. So the Belgian Grand Prix Spa is always exciting, and that's a race I would really love to go and watch live, you know. And then moving on, September 5th, you have the Dutch Grand Prix in the Netherlands at the circuit of Zandvoort, you know. So that's a new track. Yeah, you know, because Max Verstappen is in Formula 1 and he's Dutch here, and he's got a whole heap of fans, millions of fans. They call themselves the Orange Army. They always support him anywhere he goes on earth. And even when I went to the Singapore Grand Prix in 2019, on the way back to England on the plane, I saw a couple of fans with the 33 Max Verstappen hat and stuff like that, and they had the orange, you know, shirt. So he's got fans all over the world that spend the money to support him. Max Verstappen, who's a future superstar, and his name's been mentioned a lot. So that's gonna be an exciting Grand Prix. There's gonna be an Orange Army. Then September the 12th, you have the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. This Grand Prix is gonna be always exciting. In Italy, it's an old school track, innit? So it's got overtaking sections, fast flowing sections, long straights, big braking zones, you know, a nice chicane, and then the last corner is a parabolic. You're braking in and you're just going. It's like a flowing corner. So the Italian Grand Prix this season was very exciting. It was won by Pierre Gasly. Basically Lewis Hamilton was leading the race, but after a virtual safety car, he came in the pits while the pits was closed, but the sign was on the left, so he never saw the sign while entering the pits. So when he entered the pits, he got about 10-second penalty, and it was won by Pierre Gasly with Carlos Sainz following him closely, you know. So Italian Grand Prix is always bringing something great. And then the Russian Grand Prix is going to be in Sochi. This year it was won by Valtteri Bottas in the Mercedes-AMG Petronas. Well, Lewis was leading the race, but he had to get a penalty because he done his practice starts in the wrong place, so illegal practice starts in it. So it was an easy formal win for Bottas. But Russia always brings exciting races because of the strategy wise, you know. It's a track where you have to use strategy to beat the other team if the cars are nearly equal and stuff like that. And then Japan, what's up? How I miss you. October the 10th, no, so October the 3rd, you have Singapore. The Singapore Grand Prix is a really great race. Everyone comes from around the world to watch it. I was there in 2019, so it was a really good race. I remember George crashing and there was a safety car, and I remember Kimi Azor crashing and there was a safety car, and I remember Vettel winning the race by pitting early and come out ahead of Leclerc. So the Singapore Grand Prix always throws something unexpected. Even in 2014, I remember when Rosberg, he started second, but he couldn't start the race because of an unknown liquid substance entering his steering wheel. So in Singapore, something always weird happens, and I always remember the crash gate with Nelson Piquet Jr., Renault, and Fernando Alonso. I remember all of that. So Singapore is always exciting. And then moving on, you have Japan. What's up? October 10th at Suzuka in Japan. That's the next race. Japan's always exciting. It's a flowing track as well. Not heavy braking. It's more like a flowing track. So you need to get your power settings right and stuff like that for you to have a good race in Japan. And then the next race is October 24 in the USA at Austin. That's another race looking forward to. From Austin, you go to Mexico City. That race as well, strategically, it leans towards more the engineers, because you need to have a good strategy for you to win the race, because that track brings most of the cars closer together. The last few years, the Mexican city track, it always brings Red Bull, Ferrari, and Mercedes together, so they have to kind of fight it out and then get their race. So from Mexico, we're staying in South America. So South America is you have Mexico. Then moving on with November 14th, they go to Brazil, Sao Paulo. You know, it's a legendary track. You know, thinking of a few of the Brazilian drivers. You know, Rubens, Emerson Fittipaldi, Ayrton Senna. You know, Bruno Senna, Felipe Massa. You know, Interlagos has signed the extra 5-year deal to stay on the Formula 1 calendar, but it's gonna be called the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. And then I'm looking forward to that race. You know, in 2019 it was won by Max Verstappen. The year before that it was won by Lewis Hamilton. When Max was leading, he made a mistake trying to unlap the back marker. That was Esteban Ocon. He was in the Racing Point. So Brazilian Grand Prix always brings something unexpected in it, so you must look forward to it. Most of the Grand Prix on the calendar, they bring unexpected things. When you think it's gonna happen, something else happens. That's how great Grand Prix racing is, you know. So I'm looking forward to it. And then moving on to November 28, you have a new track in Jeddah, which is in Saudi Arabia, obviously with the oil money and stuff like that. And then the new motorsport interest in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia's on the calendar. And then December 5th you have the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix at the Yas Marina Island, and in the city is Dubai. So that's the last race of the season, and I'm looking forward to that race too, you know, to cap it off. The championship battle could go down to the wire, but I think it should be concluded way earlier than that, but I hope it goes down to the wire to keep the excitement throughout the whole season. And you know, I come to the end of the video, and I'm hoping everyone enjoys themselves this festive season. The seasons come fast, innit? So we have to step on the gas and cover it, because February 21st is pre-season testing. The first race is on March 21. So, and today is the 23rd of December. So the time is coming fast, and by the time you realize January, February, then pre-season testing is on the 19th of February. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, and the new arrivals, the new drivers and stuff like that. But this year, one thing I wanted to touch on is most of the tracks, the new tracks that I went to, like Mugello and stuff like that. It was really great, you know. So I'm looking forward to some old school tracks coming back onto the calendar. Mugello, Imola, you know, them kind of tracks brought exciting racing to Formula 1. So I'm looking forward to them. Look after yourself. Take care. Happy festive season. Merry Christmas.